um, I became aware of a cousin of my mother's who was a daughter of my grandmother's sister, and she was living in California. So on one of my travels, we went by San Jose where she lived, and I spent from 6 o'clock at night to 3 o'clock in the morning listening to her life story. Phenomenal lady. Lots of aspects to that. Anyway, so that's where I first learned about nurses in the Army. And so I didn't know what else to do except do some genealogy work. So then that's when I did a genealogy work on finding out. I know she was an aunt, but okay, so what was her story? So I got that when I entered this listening to her talk about her family, and it's phenomenal. So anyway, then I made a contact with a military guy, and he said, do you know that all of the nurses have military women's memorial in Virginia, and you have to go through it to get to the cemetery.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. So he, here in Nampa, said, what's her name? And I said, her name, and he says, well, let me see what I can find. And so within a few days, he had found that she was registered, and he gave me a copy of the registry, which is very sketchy, but hardly any detail. And so I contacted her daughter, which was a stepdaughter, and wanted to find out more about it. And so I found her in a little town in on the coast of Oregon, and then she had all of the paperwork of her life, military, in a folder. So I asked if I could see it. And then I asked if I could take it with me, because I wanted to photocopy it, and I wanted to have a copy of all these records that her daughter had.
Okay.
And so that caused me to obtain significant pictures and stories and history. And so I made up this book on Ray Medell and her story. Phenomenal lady. Her mother died when she was 6 years old of cancer. Now, women didn't work back in that time frame. And so what's the dad going to do? He's got an older boy and a middle sister and a younger boy, and he's got to buy food, he's got to buy house rent, whatever. How does he do that? Well, bottom line is that the youngest boy, who was 3, was adopted by Hanson family, and he became the head honcho of Channel 12 in Portland, Oregon. And so when my mom came to visit it, she came and visited with him because he's a nephew. So the next thing that happened in this story is that the oldest boy went with his dad because his dad had to go and work and, that kind of thing. And so here's this daughter, and Raymondale was passed between aunts and uncles, living many places with different people, but relatives. And at one time in her living with one of her relatives, they had a maid, and the man and wife were gone, and the man came to the door asking about her, and she was afraid to open the door and would not let him in. And she was 10 years old, and she says, "I think he was my dad." Never seen him. Knew that he died ultimately in 1957 in California. Didn't have any connection with the oldest boy too much. And so when she got out of high school, she wanted to be a nurse. So she went to San Francisco and went to a hospital and applied and accepted to be a nurse. And she graduated in 1937. As a nurse, of course, but the Army wanted nurses in the war. A nurse for the Army in 1942 to 1945, and she was in France, Belgium, and Germany. And then I had the friend that got me the information about the information from the military, women's military memorial, and the information, very scant information from Raymondale. So the Navy guy, the Army guy, found me the information form of her being registered. And I think he was the one that introduced me to the book on the lady, the young lady that, oh, come on.
American Nightingale.
American Nightingale, yeah. And that's how I got into it. And then I found out after I read it, I'd said to myself, this young lady had a life parallel with my cousin. And so, and then I found out about the book, about how he got all the information to write the original book. And I think I said it, is that when I was reading the book, I put Raymondale into the character. This is what she saw. This is what she went through. This is her experiences, and I'm impressed. I'm awed. She did that, you know, and so that's what got me off onto the nurses, and how I got to read that book, both of them, and the fact that her picture was the only person besides the president himself that had a full page Stars and Straps page. Only 2 people have ever had that, and she was right there. And it's the honor of what she did and what she contributed, and the story about her being shot and about her dying and the people around her just is overwhelming to me. So that's how I came to find out about it, and I have told everybody that I sense when God is nudging me to do something, interject myself, or comment. I believe that no interaction between people are accidental. God's in charge, and He is able to bring people together. I believe that it's not by accident. And so when I respond to that nudging of the Holy Spirit to do something, I do it, and I don't expect anything out of it, but I am blessed out of my gourd in what happens after the event that happens, that I think that God is in charge. And the more I obey the Holy Spirit, the more He's able to trust me to do what He wants me to do. He's put me in that spot. So it's up to me to finish it.
Yeah.
And so you're an example of that by virtue of the fact that your story and my story of our getting together. I didn't have to say anything to you, but I sensed that I should talk about it for some reason or other.
Yeah.
I don't know the reason,
Right.
but that's what happened.
Yeah.
So everything is set in motion by our obedience to God's impressions. So this
What did you learn from reading the author's book about how he? Because you had already found out how hard it is to do research and find out stuff.
Well,
So
I didn't know that. I mean, his researching and getting her story and finding out the stories of her life, being a child that was almost prevented from coming in because she had an eye problem.
Yeah.
How God worked that together is a miracle itself.
So his book about, okay, how did he get interested in doing the book? Because he wasn't an author, he was a newspaper man. He hadn't been an author writing a lot of books.
Right. I do not know any answers to that, but somehow or another he found out that that there was something special about this girl.
Yeah.
Her contribution to history is, he had to write about it.
Yeah. Right. And so, did you find it also gripping, his tale of his research and everything I know, what's the book about? What does he write? What does he write about?
There's very little history. He had to dig, really dig, to get the littlest little bit of information about everything.
Yeah.
And he how I can imagine that he went to people that would have given him information about how did they survive being in New York, and when you realize that she supported the family by getting up every morning and selling fruit to just regular people, but that's what fed she was responsible for the life of her family.
Yeah.
And when you put kids into that scenario where they should be out playing, but
Yeah.
and she had to sell all the fruit that she could sell in order to earn the few pennies that they got.
Wow.
Just, I'm whelmed by it. How she overcame all of the resistance because she was a Jew and she was a girl. And they almost didn't let her into college. She wouldn't give up. She was going to do it. It's that drive,
Yeah.
and that thing that motivates people and pushes them ahead.
Yeah.
You know, you do your part, but something's happening. That's just.
Did the author, did he also talk about how this experience of writing this book and everything changed his life, or anything like that? Did he have a kind of a clinical view toward it all? I mean, did he try to keep, you know, that what they say, you know, unbiased and all that?
I don't think so. What I think is that after he wrote the book, he had all of this background, and he had to write the background. How did he research what happened?
Yeah.
The job wasn't finished until he wrote the second book.
Oh, really? Why do you say that?
Well, because I think that it's an inspiration for other authors to recognize the importance of something like this book, historically, and the story, and what it took for him to put it all together,
Yeah.
and write a book. So I would say that no one should finish reading the book about the nurse. They have to read the second book
Okay.
to get the full picture.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So
Yeah. Okay. Well, what was your cousin's name?
cousin's name is Ray Medell.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about her next time. You know,
Okay.
or another time.
But it's just a snippet. But she was named for her father, Ray, R.A. Ma is for Mabel, that was her cousin. And Dell was Della, her aunt. So they put two letters together,
Yeah.
and they added an I in the middle. But Ray Medell was her name.
And what is her age compared to your age, your cousin?
I was born in 1936. She graduated from high school in 1937.
Okay. So she's passed away now.
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Al. I'm so glad that we got together again after 2 years, after a meeting at that hotel in Williams, California. And now my niece has moved over here near you in Nampa, Idaho here. And I'm over here to see my niece. And we were able to meet again.
Yes.
And I'm able to get more of the backstory on all this. And I have not yet read the book, even though I got the book and read a few pages. But then this nurse that
Yes.
goes to my church who
Yeah.
had a traumatic, and she was an Army nurse, and she's had a traumatic life. I said, "Have I got the book for you?"
Yes. I love it. I love it.
And so she, when I left home and had seen her Sunday, she said she had read halfway through it now.
Yeah.
So I'll be reporting back on that. And we'll sign off and leave it there for now, right?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks.